Do you have a hard time putting yourself first, putting your health and your well-being ahead of other things in your life and putting yourself, making yourself your top priority? If so, you're definitely not alone. And today I'm going to be talking about ways that you can start putting your health and your well-being first. It is really challenging, especially for people that have responsibilities and have a lot of things pulling on them. People that have businesses or children or homes or pets or other, parents that they're taking care of. They have a lot of things that they need to do and things that they need to take care of. It can be really challenging when you're pulled in so many different directions to recognize that you need to put yourself, your health, and your well being first. Like they say, that old, story they talk about how necessary it is for you to put your oxygen mask on yourself before you can help your child on a plane and the masks drop, right? It's the same principle. In order for you to serve in those roles and to do a good job, you really have to put your health and your well-being first. One area that I see this uh, becoming difficult for people is when they're working in really high stress jobs and they have families and they have other, they have homes, they have other things, other responsibilities. Especially single parents, I find are really challenged to try to practice things to take care of themselves and to put themselves first. But it's absolutely so essential. And even if you are very pressed for time, there are things that you can do to practice good self-care. You could give yourself 5 minutes at the end of the day to just let yourself have whatever emotions came up during that day. You could journal for 15 minutes. You could uh, do other things like maybe if moving is a way for you to work through your emotions, you can do that too. If exercise is always a good idea, you can find ways to work through your emotions that way. But we have to find a way to kind of be there for ourselves, hold space for how we're feeling, and really show up for ourselves. I've talked about my body double as being your own therapist, your own person to say to yourself, I understand completely how you're feeling today. You're tired. You had a really long, fun weekend, and as a result of that, your body is healing from being extra busy. So it's difficult to work when you're feeling very tired. So that would be something that I could say to myself if I was being my body double, if I was being my own therapist and talk to myself about how I'm feeling today, which is I notice myself feeling low energy. I notice myself having a really busy weekend. I notice myself wanting to get in bed and not work anymore. And that's exactly what I'm going to do after I get done making this podcast is I'm going to practice good self-care by putting myself in bed to have a little baby blanket time for 15 minutes and then see how I feel. I might pop out of bed and be ready to go again, or I might decide that I need to have a zero night and not do anything productive other than recharge my battery. And that is actually the most productive thing that you can do is to recharge your battery, to rest and relax. So I hope that you're fitting in enough time for resting, and you may not have a lot of time for relaxing right now, depending on where things are in your life. But maybe you can steal just even 5 minutes for yourself that you can do something, whether it's a gratitude meditation, a sound meditation, a a way for you to get grounded, even if it's just some yoga poses or some other exercises that you can do to self-soothe and to feel better. And it's so important for us to be able to do that, check in with ourselves, see how we're feeling, see what we need to do to take care of ourselves. Sometimes it's going to be, I need to get caught up at work. Sometimes that's the best way you can take care of yourself. Other times you need to get caught up on rest. You have to find balance in these things. And that is so important to our mental health, is having that time to recharge, being in a positive place physically as much as you can, staying fed, trying to get enough sleep, trying to eat foods that are going to make you feel stronger and are not inflammatory for you. Trying to practice all the things that you can to make yourself physically as as feeling as good as you can, so that it's much easier for you to practice some of the skills that you're learning in here in this podcast or other places. It's much easier for you to cope with them and use these skills if you're coming from a place where you're not hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, right? So thanks for tuning in today. I really appreciate the support. Please like, subscribe, and share to help make mental health support free and more accessible. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.